bowls here to hold while I'm working on the sink. I just find it, everybody has their own way to do this. This just happens to be my way to do it. And I'll show you. Take your little scalpel knife and I dip it in a little water. And just make a cut across the bottom. Like this than can porcelain or ceramic flip. I mean, we can put our, stomp on this on the floor and destroy it, or you can close your hand on it and, it would wreck it. But it really, I have been cleaning pieces, drop them on the floor, and they do not, break apart the way the other two mediums do. You can just, I picked it up and continue to clean it. So it is a more forgivable medium than either porcelain or ceramic flip, and you can really, there's certain things that you have a license here to make mistakes that you don't have to be up to product. And another nice thing about Liquid Shea, this is a marvelous medium to introduce children to ceramics because they are able to do all of the steps. They can do the pouring, they can do the cleaning, and because there is no kiln involved, they can do everything, then they can paint and decorate it, and then when they're on their way home with their decorating piece and they drop it, they're not going to arrive in tears because they're not going to be, it's not going to be in 1,000 pieces. Now you can see here, this has been cleaned. We'll put it in its kiln, and I like to remind people that this particular kiln, which is a cake or cookie rack, several days after you use this, or you could use this 24 hours a day and no electric bill follows. So it really is a very economical and quick medium to use. And the next step we will show will be painting. Will show you how to paint, which is very simple. You use any non-fired paint stain or glaze on your finished piece, and over here to the right are the castings that we just took out of the mold, and you will see that they are cream colored, and you can't feel it, but when I touch them they feel quite cold. That means they're still wet. On this side of the rack, you will see the pieces now are bisque white, and they no longer feel cold to the touch. So this means that they're dry. And there's another thing I haven't told you about the wonders of Liquid Shea. And I did remember I told you about the paper mat that forms a screen and gives it strength and stability. Well, you can do something with Liquid Shea that you can't with your porcelain or ceramic pieces. And I will show you here. It doesn't go in a million pieces. Now, I'm not going to tell you Liquid Shea will never break. Everything breaks. But it is break resistant, and it does not shatter the way the other pieces shatter. Also, it does not shrink any more than your normal ceramic slip, and it does not shrink the 30% that porcelain shrinks when it is fired. And I'm going to show you with the shell. You see there's really not any more shrinkage here than you would get from normal ceramic slip. But there is the strength and the fact that you can drop it and it doesn't shatter. And I have sort of off camera, I have started painting another fish, a dry fish, and I'm just using some acrylic paint. And I'll show you it's a very smooth, even surface to go on. I'm just going to put a little acrylic, squeeze it on a little piece of plastic here, and we're going to have a very colorful fish. And see how easily it goes on. And you don't really have to base coat Liquid Shea unless you particularly want to. If you want to get, you know, a dark and light, as I have done down here, a lighter color on the bottom and a darker color on the top, you can do that quite easily. I'm going to thin this with just a little water, make it a little bit easier. See how easily this flows on, and it gives you very nice bright color, and it also pulls the detail quite well. I'm not going to bore you with my finished paint job, but you can see how well it works. And I'll just do a little bit more on the green bottom. Another little depth of color and dimension to your piece. So here is a half-painted fish. I'm sure you'll do a little better job, but just for the camera, that gives you an idea of how easily Liquid Shea paints. And then I would like to show you next, I'll show you a collage of pieces that have been done with Liquid Shea, because not everything is small. You can do larger pieces with Liquid Shea, and you can do dolls. We have found doll artists who love the product, and they are doing shoulder plates and entire bodies. They're repairing old composition dolls with Liquid Shea. You can make it an entire Liquid Shea doll, as well as your regular ceramic decorative pieces. So next I will show you a little collage of some of the things that Activa has done with Liquid Shea. that you will have as much fun casting with Liquid as we have